Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Make sure to check out our sponsor, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. They want to buy your cell phone, old, broken, or you're just trying to get rid of it. You can contact them right at the number on the screen, text or call. Also, their social media and website is in the description if that's more convenient. If you share their social media accounts on social media, get a chance to win an iPhone. Go check them out. All right, man, we back. Goodfellow Sports TV in the building. Let's talk some boxing real quick. Yordenis Ugas says that Errol Spence, has been ducking him for the last 2 years. Let's talk about it. I'll link the article from Boxing in the description. And all I do know is Yordenis Ugas was lined up to kind of beat Errol Spence mandatory in the IBF. And the IBF has the strictest rules when it comes to facing your mandatory. Seldomly do you see they do step-aside deals. You know what I'm saying? And Ugas jumped out the IBF to jump in the WBC rankings. That's way before Earl, got a shot versus Sean Porter. And he did get a shot versus Sean Porter or Yordenis Ugas. And, he missed a shot. You know what I'm saying? He missed a shot. But, you got to wonder, if you wonder what I'm rubbing, it's Mason this morning. But you got to wonder, was he advised to go to the WBC rankings? That's the $1 million question. Did Al and them advise him to jump to the WBC rankings to protect Errol Spence? And remember, Kenny Porter said Errol Spence was a protected fighter. And, at the end of the day, I only just go off of what happened. And what happened was Yordenis Ugas jumped out that ranking system where he was on par to fight Errol Spence, and he jumped to the WBC. Last Errol Spence mandatory he fought for the IBF was Carlos Ocampo. So, so you looking at, had Ugas, and that was what, 2018? Had Ugas stayed in the IBF, maybe he would have been, mandatory. But if Ocampo was ranked ahead of him in the IBF, which I had to go back and look, Errol Spence didn't face the IBF mandatory until 2021 now. So maybe Ugas made the smart play. But do I think Errol Spence ducked Yordenis Ugas? I don't think so, to be honest. Just looking at their styles, I just think what Ugas has caused Errol Spence some problems is the question. I think he compete. And people say, well, he beat Sean. Some people might think he beat Sean more convincingly than Earl, or both fights was close. But you got to remember, styles make fights. Ugas is probably one of the few welterweights that can match Errol Spence's physicality. He don't punch as hard as Errol Spence. He don't throw as many punches. But the thing is, Errol Spence don't throw as many punches. So from a financial standpoint, from the powers that be that probably didn't want them in the ring together, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I put two dudes in the ring together that their styles might not mesh and make a great matchup? Now people say, well, when Mikey was Mexican, he brought a Mexican crowd to the table. Sean had a belt. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that boiled down to. Had Yordenis Ugas had that belt, him and Earl, when they went on pay-per-view, they would have been on regular Fox. But just looking at the situation, I don't think that's a fight Errol Spence can win. It's a fight that he could lose. Now, after the car accident, Yordenis Ugas is a good fighter. Just looking at that fight, he just don't throw enough punches. And he really works off, those Cuban fighters, other than Gamboa, I can remember, they work off your offense. If you're going to sit there and not throw no punches, they're going to wait for you. They're not going to really be first all the time. They looking to counter and get you while you punching and get you on the back end. And Errol Spence keep his punches real crisp, real tight. You know what I'm saying? He real accurate in his punches. He don't waste no punches. He don't throw no throwaway punches. And for Ugas, that would have been an interesting fight. Very, very interesting fight. For the fans, it could have been a boring fight unless Errol Spence would step his punch output up like he did versus Mikey. But he stepped his punch output up because Mikey wasn't throwing nothing back. So why not keep punching if you ain't going to get nothing back? So for me, that's an interesting matchup. But as a businessman, the risk doesn't match the reward for Yordenis Ugas to fight Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't match the reward. So it may not have been per se Errol ducking him. You know, I just think the powers that be don't want the fight. That's why they advise him to jump out the ranking system. You know, and he making it seem like I've been asking for him for 2 years. He probably has. You know, and had he sat there in the IBF rankings, he may not have got that title shot until 2021. So he shot his shot versus Sean and missed it. But I haven't really heard nothing about Errol ducking or Yordenis Ugas. You know, I've heard people say that, you know, at one point in his career, he didn't really want to fight Amir Khan. He was trying to avoid that fight. You know, obviously the Crawford situation, I've been, like I said, I've been solid on that. He ducking that fade. I ain't mentioned no words there. But Ugas, I haven't really heard much about him ducking Ugas. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said before, I think it's a fight that he win. I think he could beat Ugas easier than Crawford could. Just because styles make fights. You know, he probably stronger than Ugas if he ain't draining himself too much. The body work, you know, Ugas throwing 1-2 shots at a time. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Ugas feeling confident. He got a great team around him. Strength conditioning good. He training with the dude Lar training with now. I forget his name. Old Cuban coach, man. Real good coach. And he rising up, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of good fighters now. So, I don't really think Errol was ducking. I don't really think he was ducking Ugas, man. Just my personal opinion on it. But this is what Ugas got to do. Ugas has been stepping out his shell on social media and doing these interviews. And I think his star status is as high as his, you know, it's been ever in his career. So Ugas is really looking like a second-tier welterweight, you know. His performances versus Sean's performances versus Omar Figueroa, you know, I think he's gonna put him in position to capitalize, you know, off some star status. So, you know, is Ugas and Errol Spence plans? You know, probably not. Probably not. Errol Spence probably going to either fight Danny Garcia or get that WC tune-up, then fight Danny and the Lippy SQ double winner for the interim IBF. And then he probably going to try to look for Manny Pacquiao somewhere in 2021. And if not, you know, probably time for him to move up and wait. So Ugas might end up fighting for a vacant title and they get him a title, but, you know, he might end up like Luis Ortiz. If he do get a shot at the title, again, he may just be, you know, the bridesmaid. He might just come up short every time. He may be one of the memorable fighters that didn't win a title. I mean, Lucas Matisse didn't win a real title. You know, he goes down. Luis Ortiz go down. And the 4-belt era, the 10-belt era, the 13-belt era, for you not to get a belt, well, Matisse got a regular belt. I don't might count that shit. But if you not to get a major belt in this era is would be funny. And he did an interview talking about moving up a couple weeks ago or last week to 54. And so he said he ain't moving up to 54 until, you know, he pulls some more caps back. So peel some more caps back. But, you know, I just think this is business. I think Errol at the point where Errol won't hide. That's why Errol didn't tune up. Errol want to capitalize on his high-profile fights. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go from Mikey, Sean, and then Ugas regular TV fight. They can't sell that as pay-per-view. So they keeping the theme going. Danny Garcia, even though you can make a case that you can't sell Danny Garcia pay-per-view, but Garcia is a PBC household name. So I don't even think it's room for Ugas in there. Unless Ugas do something significant and beat Crawford, you know, and they do good numbers, you know, even beating Sean Porter again don't get you on that stage. He'll have to be the combination of those three. He has to be the Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford and kind of, but when you don't speak English, it's hard as a Cuban to get here and get to that point. But he's doing a great job with his social media marketing. He's doing a good job, you know, marketing himself, getting his name out there. Whoever handling, you know, his marketing and handling him, getting his name out there, he plugging in directly with the fans on Twitter. He plugging in with the old media, the new media. So, you know, his name gonna circulate. He's done the best job, you know, out of the fighters. Most fighters staying relevant, and he's not doing it in a distasteful and a nasty way. You know, T.O. and Devin and Ryan doing a lot of lip boxing and all that shit. Ugas is just plugging in and doing it clean, doing it right. But I don't believe that Errol Spence is ducking him. He probably has been asking for Errol Spence for 2 years. But Errol Spence, they had a different plan laid out for him to make him a pay-per-view star, and Ugas wasn't part of that plan, and that's just what it boiled down to. So, I think if he had to fight him, he would fight him. That's a fight that we all thought was going to happen when Ugas was creeping up the IBF rankings, and it didn't. And he jumped to the WBC. So, you was about to get your fade, and or he may not have got his fade to that point, but you jumped to the WBC ranking. So, can't say nobody ducked when you jumped over to the rankings. Even if you was advised to by Al or somebody at PBC, you missed your opportunity. But hey, don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal, description. Best way to donate, share the video. All the social media links in the description. One time for the one time. We gone.